On a restream. That is something that is very interesting. I have started this initiative called Tea and Conversation, which is primarily something that I have been trying to conduct since for a couple of weeks now. And I'm really excited about it because the whole idea is to create a community of people who are sort of talking about things that they would probably not be entirely comfortable talking about sometimes. But there are times when it's easier to talk to somebody you don't actually know. So I decided that today I'm going to talk about something called commitment. What is commitment? Commitment is basically something that we tell ourselves. So that I will do this, I will do this. And I'm going to give you a very interesting sort of something I wrote yesterday. I'm reading this book called The Daily Stoic. And yesterday's lesson was very interesting. So I'm going to read something from my journal, which I wrote yesterday. So day 3 was about control my perceptions, direct my actions properly, and willingly accept what's outside my control. By the way, that's my journal. It's very pretty. And I'm a heavy writer, as you can see. But it's something that I've done since I was a kid. Since I was like really little, I got into this habit of Dear Diary and Dear God. And then I realized I didn't need to write to anybody at all. I could just start my journal wherever I started. So what I need is certainty of judgment, action for a common good, and an attitude of gratitude. Which is all, by the way, part of mindfulness, because this is about certainty of judgment in this moment in time, action for a common good in this moment of time. So all of these are supposed to be things that I do right now. So it's far more important to say I am doing it rather than saying I will do it. Will do it indicates something in the future which may or may not happen. Yeah, so it's like when you talk about sort of sessions that you do, commitments that you make to yourself at the year end. Starting 1st of January, I will join a gym. Starting in January, I will try make an effort to lose weight. I will go on a diet. I will spend more time talking to my friends, etc., etc., etc. But what happens is that come January, nothing has technically changed. It's in the mind, right? The concept of new year is in the mind. So something that you want to do, you can actually start on a Monday or on a Saturday, or any day that you start is the first day of the rest of your life. So it doesn't matter if you start on the 1st of January, or you started on the 31st of December, or you started on the 5th of January, or on the 10th of January. The point is that you started. And so it's far more important to say that I am doing it rather than saying I will do it. Will do it indicates something in the future which may or may not happen, but the I am is more decisive and more strong an indicator of action. This is all that I've written in my journal. I mean, I'm reading from my journal right now, because I've been one of those people who kept making commitments and saying I will do this, and I will go to the gym, and I will go for a walk, and I will be more patient, and I will be a happier person, etc., etc. But none of it actually really pans out. So the whole point is that why wait for a particular date, beginning of the week, at all. I mean, instead of saying that I will do it, say something decisive like I am doing it, because you start right there and then. Because so one of the key things is people always, and you're going to have this if you're one of those people who has made commitments and promises, like for example, I tell people, I'm going to start going for a walk. And my whole family goes, right. We'll see it when we believe it. And, or they'll say things like, yeah, right. We've heard that before. Now, if you allow that chatter to get to you, then you will actually never get started on anything. The moral of the story is, the moral of the whole this conversation is that when you make a commitment, make it right now and talk about right now. What happened in the past, the fact that, for example, take for example me saying that I will go for a walk every evening or every morning, has never actually happened. So, which is why this chatter of, yeah, we'll see it when we believe it. So instead of getting into a conversation like that, what you say is that I'm going to start with, going for a walk today or right now, and go for that walk. Okay, because the past is a place where you don't live anymore. You live in the present moment. You don't live in the past and you don't live in the future. I will. You say I am. So I have started walking from today, or I am going for a walk from today, and actually go ahead and do it. And then but I am is more decisive and more strong and indicator of action. So you become a little tougher on yourself when you say things like I am doing it, and that's a commitment that you make to yourself. And when you actually set down to walking, or set down to exercising, or set down to journaling, or set down to doing an activity, you actually are on the path. Okay, and then you take it each day at a time. Okay, so to be an action taker at any point, you need to be aware of the present. Okay, you need to be present, not past perfect of I was, and not future perfect like I will be. I am an action taker, and that's what you have to tell yourself. uh, Tell yourself, commit to yourself, make a, in fact, this is something that I committed to myself at the beginning of the year. According to my therapist, there are two things. One is motivation and one is commitment. Now, motivation is driven by I feel like, I don't feel like, or I don't feel like doing this today. But commitment is that I have to do this because. So segregate your goals by motivational goals. I mean, goals that are driven by your motivation and your feelings and how you're going to go ahead and do them. And one is to do it by commitment, is to say, I have to do this no matter what, and then stick to it. Okay, so I committed to myself that I would look forward. Okay, even as a mindfulness life coach, a lot of times what tends to happen is that I don't feel like doing something, or I don't feel like I had made a commitment that I would do a video recording every week, or every 3 days, or every 4 days, and I don't remember which, because I keep changing it. And the point is that I don't actually go ahead and do it. So I decided, it was a commitment I made to myself, is that, for example, today I have a hangout uh, going on. Now, a lot of people have shown interest in it. A lot of people have even signed up for it, but nobody has showed up for it. And that's a-okay. That's a choice that they are making. The choice that I am making is that whether people show up or not, I'm going to do the hangout, which is why I converted this into a live stream and went ahead and I'm doing a live video on all my channels, because that's a commitment I made to myself. That irrespective of the choices other people make, I choose to be present and show up for myself. I choose to show up because whether other people value it or don't value it, the whole point is that I value it. So I am valuing my own commitment and showing up for my hangout. And it's a commitment that I made when I said that I am extremely uncomfortable being in front of the camera, but I will put in the effort and be in front of the camera and actually talk to the camera. which is, it's, if you've ever tried to do that, it's not particularly easy to actually go in front of a camera, unless you're, one of those Instagram, TikTok kind of people who's not embarrassed about the whole world and their dog watching you. I'm one of those people who's extremely shy, so camera shy. So getting in front of the camera, it takes a lot of effort for me. And but I made a commitment to myself that I would get on camera, I would get in front, I would start speaking, and I would fulfill my commitment to myself. And I'm very proud of myself today because I have actually fulfilled my commitment of going live. I have fulfilled my commitment of being here. I have fulfilled my commitment to myself of being in front of the camera. So I'm like super stoked about it. Um, but having said that, set smaller goals for yourself and become a action taker instead of a planner only. Action taking is I am doing this versus planner who says I will do this, because the I will is a future perfect, which may or may not happen. I am doing it is far more decisive, far more driven, and far more present. Okay, and the whole purpose of mindfulness is to be in the present moment. So at this point of time, what are you controlling? What is your certainty of judgment? What is your action for the common good, basically for yourself? Okay, and what is your attitude of gratitude? Like, I wake up and I go like, yay, I'm awake. I get to see another sunrise. I will hopefully get to see another sunset. And each day is important, and if anything the last 2 years has taught us, it has taught us this, that we have to be grateful for everything and every person we have in our lives. Okay, and that's important because you start to value, okay, what you had taken for granted. So why don't you write down a list of things that you had taken for granted? Write down a few things that you said that you would do, and motivation versus commitment. What are you motivated to do, and what are you committed to do? So I have lived up to my commitment. I've been online for almost 13 minutes, which is awesome, because I do live webinars, but then I'm talking to people. And I'm doing technically like a live webinar right now, but there are no people, okay, or there are people who are watching me live. I wouldn't know, but I'll get to know later. Either way, I'm here, I'm committed, I showed up, and of that I deserve a pat on the back. Yay! So till the next time, till the next hangout, which is going to be on Saturday, and it would be nice if those who committed that they would show up actually do show up, because what is your word worth to yourself? I mean, because at the end of the day, this is for your benefit, so, and for mine, because talking helps not just me as a coach, but I get to learn a lot from people. Everybody has a story, and everybody has something that they can share, and technically I can learn. So it's a little selfish that I would like to meet more people. So till the next time, till Saturday, which is 11 to 12 every Thursday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. is when I'm going to have the tea and conversation. By the way, this is my tea, and that's a Worldwide Fund mug where I used to work. I'm an animal activist, very proud of it. So till the next time, cheers, take care, be cool, and see you on Saturday.